right, good afternoon. How is everybody doing out there? Let's get IG on live. How you guys doing out there today? Hello, hello. Hi, we live on IG. So how's the lighting? Good afternoon. So guys, hello. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Elaine Proby here, CEO PROBY'S Tax and Accounting. And today we're going to talk about something very exciting to me and to a lot of you guys out there, of course. We always talk about, everything is serious when it has to do with your taxes, and it doesn't matter. We can't run away from the taxes, but we want to talk about, one, how you make money, and two, of course, how you keep most of the money that you do make. And so that's the reason why we have these sessions. So the exciting part to me is to tell you how to make the money and then tell you how to keep more of the money in your pocket, right? So that's what we want to talk about. We don't want to just make the money and then just give it all away. And of course, at the end of the day, you have nothing left. So today we want to talk to our musicians. One of my favorite topics are musicians. We want to talk about our musicians. We want to talk about how, you can sell your music online and ways. Number one, we want to talk about ways that you can get paid. A lot of people is out there making great music. And of course, we want to talk about ways to get paid. And then we want to talk about ways to keep their money. So once you get paid, we want to talk about how you keep more of the money in your pocket. And then, of course, if you have to pay taxes, we want to talk about what that effect is going to be and how to make sure that you pay as little of those taxes as possible, that money out for taxes as possible, right? So today, selling music online, guys. And what about your taxes? Ways that you can get paid doing this, ways that you can keep most or all of the money in your pocket. And if you do have to pay taxes, we'll talk about what that effect is going to be. All right. So hit like and share on this video, guys. Get all your friends on board. I've got a lot of questions. I have a lot of clients that are musicians, a lot of friends that are musicians, a lot of associates that are musicians, a lot of questions on how we do this and how we make money with this stuff that we put all this time in, because it's a lot of time that gets put into it. All right. So, hey, Andy. Hi, Inez. Thanks for jumping on. Well, hello, my lovely auntie. Good day. How are you doing? All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Inez. How are you? All right. Harrison Senior. Thanks for sharing Elaine Proby's post. Hey, Janelle. Thanks for jumping on here. And IG. Welcome you guys on here. This topic is very exciting. I'm really excited about it. So let's talk about it, right? Everybody knows that music, it's the key that holds us all together. We got to keep musicians working. We got to keep all these producers out there making great music. We can't live, we can't survive without it. And it's excellent if you can spend the time to make all this music and, of course, get paid doing something you really, really love, right? And this is the whole thing. You have to love music. Besides the fact that you're gifted and talented, you have to love it because there's so much time that gets put into this. And so one of the key things is we want to be able to get paid for all the hard work that goes into making and producing music that the whole world enjoys. And so this is really why this topic is important today. And so we're talking about several ways. The first number one point today, guys, is ways to get paid. And I want to make sure that you guys make notes of this stuff, right? This is very serious. Make some notes because you're going to have to come back to this. I want you guys to depend on these points that I'm making today, because once you know what they are, you can look further into it and get some more detailed information on all this stuff, right? So number one, let's talk about ways that you can get paid as a musician. Now, no one said this is going to be easy. It's a difficult road. However, because of the passion that you have in making music, because you love to do this, and it's not impossible. It's not impossible, because if you do it right, you can get paid. Okay, you can definitely get paid. So that's what we want to talk about. Thanks for joining us, Karen. Thanks for joining us, Raquel. Thanks for jumping on here. All right, Laverne, thank you for joining us today. Klaus for Pop, thank you. Let's talk about the number one ways to get paid. Let's talk about this digital distribution, because back in the days, we weren't selling music online. Everybody know that you go to the record store and you get your music. Now, because of the online services that are available, guys, one of the easiest way to get paid, or most convenient, I should say, not easiest way, but the most convenient way, is to use digital, through digital distribution. That's what I'm trying to say. Digital distribution is one of the ways we can get paid. So everybody knows that you can get a digital distribution company. Get your music to these guys, and they can distribute your music out to all the various streaming services. Okay, so instead of you going directly to the streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all those guys independently and individually, you don't have the time to do all this, of course, because you're busy making music. So you don't have time to get to each individual person. So what you do is you go to a distribution company, right? Online distribution company, and there's several of those distribution company. You know, you have companies like Landers, you have companies like TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid. You know, you can look them up. There's a lot of different music distribution companies. You want to go to a distribution company, and what they will do, they will get all your music to the streaming services, right? So you'll have one of these companies, and they will deliver your music to all the various streaming services. There's a host of streaming services. Sometimes there's 25 or 30 of them listed. You don't have to personally get to all of them. Again, the distribution company will go ahead and get your music to those streaming services for you, so that your music can get out there to the world, and that you can get paid. So that's one of the first things you got to do. Once you have spent all the time creating this great music, you put a lot of time into writing, producing, mastering all this stuff, guys. Again, once you're done with all this, you really want the world to hear this work. And of course, you want to get paid for doing it. Okay. So first point under ways to get paid, distribution service, you must use them. This is getting paid online. There's no going into the store as we used to anymore. And again, the best way to get it out to the world, right? Best way to get it to the entire world is through the distribution companies, the digital distribution of your music. Another way to get paid is by doing live gigs, right? Live gigs. I know due to COVID last year, a lot of that stuff was shut down, but it does not negate the point that that is still one of the best ways to get paid, doing live shows. One of the greatest things about doing live shows, besides getting paid to do the shows, is that you build more of a fan base, that these people are more likely to download your music, because there's a one-on-one kind of thing, because they get to see you in person, as opposed to, let's say, people online. These folks that comes to a live show, they have a better connection with you. They are more long-lasting fans. They see you, they connect with you, so they will go online and download your music. And so it's better to do live gigs, so you can develop a better fan base, again, that are more connected to you, that will be more apt to go out and download your music, right? So doing live gigs is an excellent way to make money. Again, let's say you are, you're not going to major concerts. You can also go to smaller venues and create a fan base from those smaller venues before you get onto some of the bigger concerts. So if you're not booked for something huge, guys, it doesn't negate the fact that you can't do a live gig. Okay, so don't put that on the back burner because you may not be booked by any major company to do any huge festival. Okay, let's just get and do smaller gigs in different places where people can come out and see you. They become your fan. Of course, they follow you and they download your music. And then the other way to make some money is by selling your merchandise online. Now, one thing, again, once you develop this fan base, like I was saying, if you do live gigs and you develop a fan base, people like to identify with you. So what they will do is they will buy your merchandise, because this is an excellent way to identify with you. If you notice, a lot of folks that does music, they can create a design that put their brand out there, right? So you create this brand, you put your brand out there. And if I love a certain artist or a certain group, I have no problem wearing a t-shirt, a shirt, a hoodie, a cap, or something that resembles my fans. Same thing they do with sports, right? A lot of people run around with their sports team, their sports color, because they love it. Same thing with your merchandise. If people really love a group, they really love an artist, guys, they will buy your merchandise. All you got to do is get some creative designs out there, and you can create a store on your website, and you can put your merchandise out there, and it will sell your music. And then the greatest part about this is each time you have a new release of some sort, you can create a new look, right? A new design for that look. So that's an excellent way to make money online with your music, guys. Have merchandise that will identify you with your fan base. And then, of course, the music and what you're putting out to the world. So let's see, Mr. Reese Ford, thank you. What do you have to say? I have been using TuneCore as my distribution company. Let's see, I've been using TuneCore as my distribution company for years and love it. Awesome. So Ms. Reese said she'd have been using TuneCore as a distribution company and love it. So that's a great one. Again, there's several out there. A lot of folks have been using like DistroKid, CD Baby, and all those guys. So TuneCore, excellent. Thank you for putting that out there. Okay, guys. So selling the merch is great. I love the merch. And you know what's so beautiful about that is the store is automated. So once you set up your merchandise store, you don't have to do anything. Right? You set that, you don't have to do anything. The merchandise is available. People just purchase it. You have someone that's monitoring that, and merchandise is shipped out. And so you can go in and create your music. You don't have to sit there and sell anything because it's not like a storefront. That's beautiful. Another one, I love this one. I really love this one. I think a lot of artists don't take advantage of this, but collaborating with brands or other musicians. This is an excellent way to get your name, get your brand, get your music out, right? Collaborating with other musicians. And what I like about this is you don't have to necessarily just collaborate with musicians in your town and people that you know because of technology, because a lot of stuff can be done automatically, guys. Isn't it beautiful? It allows you to be able to collaborate with musicians all over the world. This is so exciting. I just love this. You don't have to be in the same place. You know, there was a time when you had to be flying from one place to the next, go to another studio to get someone to collaborate with you, to get on a song with you. And you had to spend a whole lot of money to make this happen. Guys, this is not the way you need to do it anymore. So it's so much easier now for you to be able to collaborate with musicians all over the world. And based on the genre of music that you're in, based on the type of music that you do, you can literally, you know, there's sites that looks for vocalists, that looks for musicians, right? There are sites that you can register with that will look for vocalists and musicians to collaborate with. So it doesn't even have to be just people you know, people in your town, people in your, you know, in your circle. It doesn't even have to be that. You can collaborate with musicians from anywhere in the world. This is amazing. This is great. Everything is done automatically, and I love that. And once you collaborate with folks to get your name out there, get your brand out there, what's going to happen? People will look for you. People hear a lovely song that's a collaboration. They want to know who the artists are in that song, who are the musicians, what they do. Once they find that out, they go in and look you up. They become a fan of yours. They start downloading and buying your music. Okay, so that's another way. I love that idea because it is amazing. And I think a lot of musicians really should use that feature. I don't think, you know, I don't see enough collaboration, but I think that that's a great way to make money on your music. And then one more thing in that area I want to talk about too is, as a musician, guys, you can sell beats or samples of your music. If you're a producer and you're creating these beats, now I know producers, and this is all they do. They'll create a beat, they'll license that beat, and they'll get it out to the folks, and people pay to use it. And all they do is they sit back and they make beats. And then people license that beat, people pay you, then you can sit all day long and just make money by creating beats, selling your beats, selling your samples of the music that you make. And you won't have enough time, right? You won't have enough. Once people know who you are, once you can create the things that people want, you won't have enough time to make enough beats and enough samples to be able to license and sell to people out there. So that is an excellent way, guys, for you to make money as a musician, as a producer, as an artist and entertainer, anything in the music business. That's an amazing way for you to be able to make money. Okay, so guys, let's see, buys of merchandise. Okay, see, Sharice Ford have something else over here. Merchandise at live shows. Buy or merchandise at live shows. Always. Great advice. Yes, it's a winner. People buy merchandise. They come to the show. They love you. They love what they see. They love the brand, and they will buy the merchandise. It happens every time. As a matter of fact, you know, a lot of folks that want a souvenir to take home, they hate going to an event and love what they see and have nothing to remind them of it. So I love that. I love that note right there. It's excellent ways for you to make money on your merch. Don't forget to take them to the next live gig that you do. Get something made, get some t-shirts, get something out there. All right. Now, number 2. Now we talk about ways to make money. We want to make all the money we can. We want to make this money from all over the world, get the music out there and make that money. And so again, you make it, you want to keep it, right? So we're here to tell you, when you make it, we want you to be able to keep more of the money that you make. By doing so, guys, this is what you do. You have to be able to write off all of your business related expenses. If you went somewhere and got paid for a gig, $5,000, and it cost you whatever it cost you for you to make that money, we want to make sure that we don't miss any expenses. This is keeping your money. So you want to, whatever it costs for you to get to the gig to make that money, or whatever it is that you put into making your money, you want to be able to write that off, because if you don't write off all of your expenses, on my third point today, we'll talk about how you give it to the government in taxes. That's what I'm talking about, keeping that money. All right. So you want to make sure that all your expenses are in order. Keep track of all the stuff, guys. As a musician, you got a lot of different types of expenses, like agency fees, management fees. You have like magazines, subscriptions. A lot of folks have music subscriptions, download of different software that you have to pay for on a monthly basis. A lot of times we miss that one. We miss all the subscriptions that we pay for, to be able to download certain type of music. Equipment, guys. Software, music software, very expensive too. Music software is very expensive. You're recording your own stuff at home. If you have a home studio, you're setting up, laying your own references at your home studio, guys. A lot of us spend a lot of money on software, a lot of money on equipment. Internet, of course, you got to have that. All this stuff is a deduction. Keep track of it all. If you have a studio at home, make sure that you write that off. Or if you go to another studio, all your studio time, okay, all your studio time is a deduction, right? If you pay another musician to get on your, to get on your track or something, you got to, you pay them off. You want to be able to write that off as well. All of your promotional materials, guys, all that stuff is a deduction. Make sure you track all that. Make sure that all your legal fees. You got to get some advice on this stuff, legal, professional advice. You got to get that. So you pay for this stuff. You want to be able to track this, write it all off. If you go to gigs, if you go to a gig, if you go to a concert, if you go to any of these places, you can deduct the stuff, travel expenses, guys. Even if you're not the performer, even if you're not the musician on this trip, but you're there for another reason. Sometimes you just got to make an appearance someplace. Sometimes you just got to make an appearance. This is all a deduction, from the monies that you make, guys. You want to make sure that you deduct all this stuff so you can keep more of the money in your pocket. We will tell you why in my third point, because you won't have to pay taxes on all the money that you make. All right. So ways to keep more of your money is by making sure that you write up all of your deduction. That's my number 2 point today. All right. Thank you for joining us over here, Richard. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's go into the third point today, guys. The third point today is, what about your taxes on this money that you make, right? So here we make a whole lot of money, and now we want to know, what about the taxes? I got a question, because there's people who are, you make money all over the world, right? Different countries, different states, different place, right? So the question about taxes, and I had this again with someone from a whole different country, and ask about the taxes, if they make money in a different country, what that is. And music is not one of the business that is tax-free wherever you go. So first advice is, you want to find out, wherever you are, whatever country, whatever state or city in that country, you want to find out from the taxing agency, what are the tax effect of what the monies you make in that country, guys. Because sometimes you have to pay taxes in that country as well. And then if you are in the U.S., you get maybe a tax credit of revenue that you earn abroad, taxes that you pay abroad. There's a way that we do those taxes, so you can get credit for that. But you want to make sure, whatever country you are, wherever you're at, you check with the taxing agencies, taxing authority, to find out what's the tax ramification there. And as you come to the U.S., we will make those adjustments, and whatever credit is allowed in that end. So that is key. Now, if you are performing and you are traveling in different places too, if you're in the U.S., you travel to different states, sometimes you'll have to pay taxes on monies you earn in different states. So we have taxes where people have paid maybe in 5 different states, because the one that did a gig in 5 different states, and they got paid in 5 or 6 different states, and they have to do taxes, file taxes, all the different states that they earn that money. Okay. So, but again, that's not for you to worry about technically, because this is why, like I said, your tax accountant and your tax and accountant person is also a deduction. So you let them worry about that part. However, when you write off those deductions that you got to write off, because it is what allows you to make that money. And then you don't have to worry too much about the taxes, because if you make no money, you have to pay any taxes. If you have any money left after deductions, this is what we're talking about. After deductions, there's nothing that's taxable, right? Anyway, so that's the tax effect. You would have to pay taxes on your net profit. And as far as state is concerned, you would have to pay taxes in states that is taxable. You have to pay tax in those states. And of course, if you're playing in different countries all over the world, you want to check and find out what their tax ramification is. Okay. So that's the taxes on the money that you will make. And I know that you are going to be making some money, because again, like I said, it's a little, it's not easy to make money with your music, but it's not impossible to make money with your music if you follow certain steps about making money. And again, guys, you want to utilize all these tools so that your money can get out. I mean, your music can get out there to the world for you to be able to make money on it. Okay. So that's my 3 points today, guys. If y'all have any questions or concerns about any of this stuff, you can put it in the chat so that we can come back and respond to those. Again, make sure that you get your music. I want to conclude with this, though. This is very seriously important. Conclude with this. So you guys make sure that your music is registered with one of the music agency, the performing rights agencies, because that's another way to make sure that you do get paid. You know, and those performing rights agencies, you guys have heard them a lot, like BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, a lot of those folks. They make sure that you get paid. Okay, so make sure that you register with them, and so you can get paid for your music. I think we'll be back, and I realized that we'll have another discussion on the different types of royalties and how you get paid, different type of royalties that you can, how you get paid with your music, and performing rights and all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that later. But for now, that's my 3 points. So let me recap what they are. So selling music online, guys. Number 1, ways to get paid. We talked about digital distribution is number 1 thing now, because it's not walking into a storefront anymore. Music got to be distributed online. There's a lot of distribution companies, and they'll get your stuff to streaming services, and this is how you get paid. And again, like I said, we talked about some of those, which is like TuneCore and Landers, CD Baby, DistroKid, and a whole bunch more. So make sure that you familiarize yourself with those. If you haven't been using them, they'll get it to all the distribution company. Look for gigs. Make sure you get your name out there, get your brand out there, get people to know you. And as much as they know you, they will download your music and get paid. Okay, so number 2, ways for you to keep more of the money in your pocket. Make sure that you track all your expenses, write up all your deduction, all of your travel, all the money that you spend in your studios, and all the stuff that you needed to for you to be able to make that music, right? You want to make sure that you deduct all those expenses. People always tend to forget some of this stuff, and if you don't track it, you will pay taxes on money that you don't have to pay taxes on. We want you to keep your money in your pocket. Anytime you do videos, anytime you do recording, you pay an artist to be on your track. Any one of this stuff, guys, is a deduction. Any consultation you got is a deduction. All this great stuff you can write off. So want to make sure that you keep more money in your pocket. And then the third one, guys, is what about your taxes, right? So if you have a taxable income after your expense deduction, what about your taxes? Again, because you're making money online, for the most part, your money is going to be anywhere in the world. You want to make sure that you check with the different places, especially if you're doing live gigs and you travel and you're doing live gigs, making money anywhere in the world. Check with those countries, see what their tax regulation is. Once you're back to the U.S., of course, any type of tax credit paid to a foreign country, we'll be able to adjust that and deal with that as well. And if you are gigging across the states, some of the states is going to tax you. But again, once you file your taxes and you have a profit left after those deductions, guys, we want to minimize the tax ramification. And then, of course, you'll pay taxes at any of the net profit that you make. Okay, so that's my 3 point concluding that today. I want to thank you guys for jumping on here. Raquel Carter, great information. Thank you so much, guys. You hit like and share on this video. I know there's a lot of folks out there that needs this information. I get the questions. I know folks are probably busy, and so they're not on here. So you want to share this video so they can come back and get this information later on. All your musicians out there, musicians, your artists, your entertainers, you guys, share this video to them. Okay, so keep your notification on. We'll be back Thursday with some more great information on the personal side. Again, Thursday, July the 22nd, new tax changes taking effect. Right. Oh, that's what we're going to talk about. Taxes, new changes that's taking effect starting in July. Some of them have gone into effect July 1st. So we want to talk about those. So just keep you abreast of this stuff, because the whole key here, guys, the more you know and the more you can prepare yourself, the less taxes you pay. You wonder why a lot of people don't pay taxes? That's because they plan ahead. They know what to do in advance, and they're not, doing this when the year is out and there's nothing they can do about it. So once you know in advance, you can make adjustment and you can reduce your tax liability at the end of the year. Okay, so that's what we're having these discussions. All right, so with that said, I want to thank you guys, and then stay tuned for our next live class that we are giving, and then for our 5-day challenge that's going to be coming up. We'll put the date out there again, guys, for you on the 5-day challenge. And this is about getting your business started, teaching you what you need to do to get it in operation, and how to get it out there so you can become successful. And by being successful in your business, you will have more money to put in your pocket in order for you to build wealth. And this is what we're here for. All right. So again, Elaine Proby, CEO, Proby Tax and Accounting. With that said, guys, I want to thank you again. I will see you guys back here on Thursday at 1 p.m. And I think that's it for me today. She says, see you every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. All right. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m., guys. And anything that you guys want to hear about, don't put it in the chat and we'll come back and get to it. All right. With that said, I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of your day, and take care of each other and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.